Hey, how's it going? Welcome to Electron Talk, episode 45, I think. Dang, I don't remember. I think it's 45. Today we're going to do something a little different. Yeah, it's a Tuesday. It's a Tuesday afternoon. I just wasn't feeling up to it yesterday. It was a really busy day. But I really wanted to share something quite cool that I did a few years ago and actually haven't talked about it much, but it's a total game changer for the analog rhythm, especially for Mark I users, which is what we're going to take a look at. I'm going to be demonstrating this on the Mark I. I have no pattern made, so we're going to have to make some music too while we're at it. What's up? How's it going? What's up, Luma? We're going to be using the Fader Fox EC-4 and the Analog Rytm. I also want to say today's stream is sponsored by DistroKid. Thank you, DistroKid. We love you very much. You take great care of us. And yeah, you're just the best. I don't know what else to say about that. It's the only distribution platform that I use. So let me switch over the camera real quick. Get this sucker turned on. Cool. Isn't it beautiful? I love the Analog Rytm Mark I. I love this form factor. I am not a fan of the Mark II form factor. I never have been. I know it has some excellent features that you're not going to find in the Mark I, such as sampling is a huge, huge feature. But also more I/O on the back for processing your external audio or processing your individual outputs. That's a much better setup on the Mark IIs for both the Analog 4 and the Analog Rytm. But I don't like the angled deal. I also don't like the size. I love this is the exact same size as my Octatrack. And this is a very clean setup. Yo, what's up, John? John makes beats in the house. Glad you're here. Glad everybody's here. You're all wonderful. It's a wonderful Tuesday afternoon, 3:30. Let's get this sucker cracking. Pure Blue. Sponsor me, LaCroix. You son of a bitch. Sponsor me. Coming for you. Give me your money. I wants the money. Yeah, so really what I want to show off, and it's we're not gonna be able to show it off immediately because I didn't make any music on it. I just finished updating my EC4. I just finished building out the CC parameters on here, got it uploaded, and then I uploaded just an absolute 1,700 new samples into my Rytm Mark I. Bunch of clicks and weird little sounds that I thought would be really fun to play with on here. But what we're going to be doing with the EC4, this is so cool. This is so cool. And I'm just going to show you what it does right now to get you excited about it, and then we'll actually get to listen to it, but I haven't built out any patterns, like I said. So I'm going to pop over to the performance section and check this out. Think of this like the Octatrack. Ooh. I have interpolated control, and if I hit the button, turns it off. Hit the button, turns it off. I now have macro controls without having to push down on these performance pads. This can adjust everything. I can turn up high pass with delay and reverb on one control for all my tracks. This is dope. You can do this on the Rytm Mark II as well. There's different CC messages. Oddly enough, it skips. It goes 35, 36, 37, 39. I don't know what CC38 is. I don't know where it is. It's hidden somewhere. But CC38 doesn't do anything. But then from there, it just, gradually counts up in serial as you would expect. But this is the whole idea here. So we're going to build out a bunch of performance macros on here, and then we can turn them all off by pressing these buttons. Or these buttons. It's the coolest thing ever. So all we have to do is get a pattern going. So this is kind of like scenes. On the performance macros, you can push them down like this. Here's another trick you might not know. You can push down on these. They're pressure sensitive, right? They're velocity sensitive. If you hold them down at any pressure amount and then go to retrig, hold down retrig, let go of the pad, keep retrig engaged, and you can keep your performance macros turned on. Check this out. Super weird, right? It's a weird behavior. But it's dope, you know, I don't know. I figured that out when I first got the Rytm Mark 1. Because when I first get a machine, I just start holding stuff down and pressing buttons just to see like what happens, like where are these little hidden controls or something. But I really like that. That's cool, right? This is the performance mode. These are scenes. Scenes you turn on, you know? The performance macros, that's different. You're not supposed to be able to hold them down. Anyway, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna play with this. We're gonna treat it like the Octatrack Performance Effects Mixer, stuff that I like to do, which I actually have out of the screen here. It always glows because the Octatrack has like this sensual magic that pours off it, and it's a steamy, warm red. Your Octatrack does it too, maybe just when you're not looking or something. But it's a real thing. Okay, get out of here, scene. So let's just make some really simple, like techno really quick, because I just want to build out some scenes. Let's go to 32. Get out of here. I really want to hit the pads, but it like shakes the whole table, so I'm gonna refer to these triggers more. I'm gonna sacrifice the snare for a clap, I think. So I'm gonna turn off the synth level and bring up a sample, and let's find a sample. I want a clap. That's kind of cool. Make some weird sounds with that. Okay, so now I'm gonna turn off this sample track and switch this synth track to the synth dual VCO. Everybody's favorite, the dual VCO. Can you believe the dual VCO was actually an afterthought on the Rytm? Like, I'm pretty sure they added that later. Yeah, they did. They added the dual VCO after all the drum engines. The Syntax dual VCO is actually better. It has more algorithms. So one of the things I don't like about the Rytm Mark 1, and this is like a pretty obvious one, is I don't have, the screen sucks. The screen totally sucks. I can see it fine. At my viewing angle, the screen comes in like really sharp, and I know it's hard for the camera, but the screen just sucks in general. And like, we can't see the shape of our envelopes or anything like that. It's a huge advantage on the Mark IIs to be able to see the shape of the envelopes. But we're just gonna use this right here and throw down some rhythms after we get some of these gross hairs out of here. Where do they come from? Why do we grow hair? Why do we still grow hair? I don't understand. Why haven't we evolved out of hair? Ridiculous. I love that you can go into the chromatic mode on the Rytm. Like, where's an octave? All right. We're gonna throw a kick to, I really want to show off the effects thing. This isn't all about making a track on the Rytm right now. I'm showing off what you can do with your Rytm Mark 1 and Mark 2 and a Fader Fox EC-4 if you dig into your manual and do a little bit of work. You know? Yeah. You know what is a bummer is the effects track on here isn't quite the same, right? Like we can't do ducking like you can on the the syntax, and I love the ducking on the syntax. That part's such a bummer to me. There's ways around that. I've actually thought about, like, a good way around that would be to take the individual output of that track, run it into your Octatrack, and do your ducking in your Octatrack, because you can't do it here so well. Unless someone else has, like, a better idea for ducking on the Rytm Mark 1, but I'm not aware of it. But I do think the individual outputs on here into an Octatrack or into a compressor that's listening to the kick drum, I think just running it into something with an envelope that can be, you know, ducked on a sequencer would be fine. I do have the Octatrack here, and I do have the ability to do that with the turn of a knob. I just need to get the MIDI out from the Octatrack and send it over here. So we could do that. We could. Let's see. Let me go back over to this track. I kind of hate this. This reverb. Whoops. I go to FX, then go to reverb. Here we go. Let's make this delay a little bit better too. Ping pong, really wide. Feedback, low 80 is good. Let's open those filters up. Man, the default filter setting on there is so filtered. It's so filtered. Okay. All right. All right, let's just throw this down. Okay, now we're gonna be able to do the demonstration now. This is like the really the only thing I want to show. It might be a really short stream. I might be like, hey, check it out, we're done. Although I loaded so many samples in here, I do want to do some sample exploration. All right, here we go. Maybe do we want to just like get like some sort of chord or something too? Maybe I actually want a sample of a hi-hat as opposed to that. Yeah. All right, I love the rhythm. This is just a really fun box. Like if you just stay in the rhythm, you're just bound to have a good time just digging around in it. And it's an improv machine for sure. What are you guys talking about over here? Smooth acid techno. Yeah, I would like some smooth acid techno. All right, here we go. Let's go into the performance macros and we're gonna set these up. So we're gonna set up performance macro 1, which is attached to the Fader Fox EC-4 number 13. So I went up like this, just like this. So it mimics this. These top 4 on the EC-4, they don't do anything. I was gonna have them do something, but I got distracted by how different the manuals were from the Analog Rytm Mark II to the Analog Rytm Mark I, and how they completely changed the performance macro CC messages from the Mark I to the Mark II, and it made me mad, and so I stopped. So I just left them alone. But we're gonna select a track, so we're gonna do a high pass filter plus delay. That's the first effect we're gonna make because it's the most useful one when you're doing techno, in my opinion. So I'm gonna go over to the filter. We're looking at track 1 already. Hold this down and we're gonna have this change the filter type. Oh my God. It's just a plus value for the filter type. Let's just switch it over to a high pass to begin with. All right, here we go. So here we go, high pass. plus some resonance. This is gonna be more annoying to set up than I wanted it to be. Okay. Let's see. Oh, that's why. Okay. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, now let's go to this track here and do the same thing. I guess maybe we could have this. I guess we could just low pass this more. Since we don't have a master track, we have to build some macros here. So like, we have limitations. We could just go like more low pass. But we also want to go like delay. That's good. Forgot we needed to do the delay here. Okay, let's go over here. And here we're gonna put in that high pass filter. Bring that down. Oh yeah, just like that track. We're gonna go some nice resonance. I forgot I needed to do some resonance on this. All right, here's our first effect. Check it out. That was so simple. I know that was very light, but all right, let's make another one. Let's do like a low pass filter plus reverb effect. So let's go to the next one here. We'll do it to the kick drum, and we'll have this go filter type up 1, then go negative with it. Right? There we go. Maybe do some delay too. Okay. Alright, check it out, now we got 2 scenes. So we could do like, go into mute mode here. This combo is just stupid. It's so good. This is the first thing I did. First thing I did when I bought the Fader Fox was assign it to this, to the macro controls on here, because I immediately was like, oh, it's velocity. Like I can control velocity with anything. You know, any MIDI controller can control velocity. And I was like, Fader Fox, I'll just have it control, you know, but I didn't need velocity because there happened to be a CC message for the performance macros. So you can do this with any MIDI controller. The advantage of the Fader Fox one is that we can, you know, we have like the bars here, which is cool. Let's get these out and clear them all up. Boop, 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 boop. Get out of here. So we have that, or we have the number value. I kind of like either one of them's cool. You can name them, but also they have the push release. That's something that you're also going to find on the MIDI Fighter Twister, which is another really great MIDI controller, except for it doesn't have actual I/O. This is an actual MIDI cable here. So some advantages here. I think we need some more sounds to like really show this off. The best thing to do is to write like a whole pattern, you know, write a complex pattern. I don't know why I said complex. Just write a pattern you like. Write a pattern with lots of sounds in it, and then do your scenes afterwards instead of like what I'm doing right now where I'm building a scene in the middle of a pattern. But that's just because I got so anxious to show off how cool this combination is. I love the time for your streams, by the way. Perfect for waking up this end of the world. Coffee and EZBOT. What's up, Sonwoo? Thanks, man. I appreciate that. And I just got... Oh, you just got a Syntact? Congratulations. The Syntact is just as good as a Rytm Mark 1. It's not just as good as a Rytm Mark 2. I don't know. I'd say the Mark... If they took the Mark 2... Check this out. If they took the Rytm Mark 2 Elektron... Look at me. Look at me, Elektron. Take your Rytm Mark 2. Take your Analog 4. For one, give them pattern mutes. I want them. I want them now. Give them pattern mutes. I don't care about the kits and all that stuff. Keep that the same. But give them pattern mutes. But put them back into this form factor. Get them out of that weird angled thing. I want them black, and I want them, or gray, I don't care, but I just want them in this form factor. Do it. Please. It would be so cool. Everyone would buy them. Elektron is not listening to me. Like, I feel like they straight up do not listen to me. Talk to me about MIDI sequencing. I am not going to talk to you about MIDI sequencing, Carl. Carl's my buddy from Patchworks. And we're not talking about MIDI sequencing on the Rytm. This thing is not good at MIDI sequencing. This is not its job. It can send a MIDI note data out and a gate on and off message. Like, that sucks. There's no good. Okay, let's make some more scenes. I want to make more scenes. Make more skin. All right, I want to bring like a chord in. I think we're just playing in C because I'm being a nub and trying to keep this easy and not stress myself out. You know what I mean? So let's go over here. Let's find a sample. Turn off the synthesizer first. I mean, I love the synth engines. Like, we're using the dual VCO. Don't get me wrong. I do like them. I just, I like samples a lot. There goes the Doge. Oversampled, super heavy. What do we want? What do these chords sound like? C7. That's a real high chord. Oh no, it's a C7 chord. Not C octave 7. All right, C minor 7. This could sound nice. Let's see. Let's hear this. Here we go. It's C minor chords. Keep it simple. All right, let's go ahead and make this normal, in my opinion. Divide that in half. Function, turn the knob so it moves in bigger steps. Make the master 128. Keep change the same. All right, we're good to go. So we'll go chromatic. Okay, here we go. I guess we're gonna make dub techno now. Let's filter that. just love this thing. And the sample rate is as good as the dig attacks. Kinga, what's up? I forgot. It's an earlier stream, so you'd be able to pop in. That's so nice. Bind the performance macro to the delay feedback. That's a good idea. I was actually going to bind the delay time and the reverb time to these controls right here. And maybe the compressor or something. I don't know. I didn't want to go too deep into that, but let me see. What is it, Amazon or something? Gemma, chill. All right, back over to the performance macros. We need to finish this one right here, though. So we have this chord now. Well, let's have it open up the filter. Macro number 3, FX scene. We're gonna make this one. We're gonna do what Kinga suggested and bind it to the delay time. Let's go over to the delay here. Yeah, now we're in some cool territory. We can have that reverb get like super big too, like. Mute mode. That is sick. Good call, Kinga. We love Kinga. Kinga's one of the moderators in the EZBOT Discord, and we appreciate them very much. Here we go. Kinga's also a moderator here. So we got some cool controls so far. That's silly because it's too much fun. All right. So we got a couple scenes. I feel like we could use some more sounds. Maybe we should make this bass line a little juicier. I do like how it turned out. It's very chill. It's a very chill afternoon right now, as you know, aside from the dog doing what dogs do. Let's make this 4 bars. And it is moving at, okay, regular speed. Let's copy or change these notes here. something. Maybe we could play with the synth engines, I suppose. I forgot, we only have toms, don't we? Nah, we'll just use a sample again. Darn it. Mom pack. I gotta check that out. It's no, not hits. Indian percussion. This could be cool. Oh, I like that. I don't know what it is. This rhythm sucks. I don't know what the deal is. But I totally hate it. I hate it, I hate it, I hate it. I want a different sample. Let's open this back up. I'm not afraid to admit when I'm wrong, okay? It's a lesson in humility. Different sample, please. This one sucks. Sucks. Techno pack. Percussion. You might be able to do something with that. Let me see. Let me see something here. Hey, we did it. That doesn't suck. go to our performance scene. Got some fun stuff so far. I feel like that's a little loud. All right. Performance scene. This one is the high pass with delay. All right. Let's go filter. Oh, I guess we just slow past this. I'm not super impressed with this like tambourine track, but it's doing the trick for right now. Maybe we send an LFO over to like the decay or something. Those chords be a little bit more dubby. Let's have an LFO like change the filter frequency on the chords. Where were they? The chords here? Right, LFO. Filter frequency. Way too high. So if we were to like kind of play this out, it would be like. Okay. Let's see what it sounds like if we try and play this out a little bit. Probably would be cool if we just started off with the kick. Go totally whack, right? I feel like this could replace the Octatrack. If I wanted to play a show with just one machine, I could take the EC-4 and the Analog Rytm, and I'd be close enough to the effects that I like to make in the Octatrack. I wouldn't have all the free beat repeats and freeze delays and all of my favorite effects the Octatrack provides. I wouldn't be able to do, but like the real classic stuff, just to be able to get through a set, like be able to do a build up with delays, reverbs, high pass, all that kind of stuff. I could totally accomplish those goals with the Analog Rytm Mark 1 or Mark II plus a MIDI controller. Something like the Fader Fox EC-4 is probably going to be your best bet, because this thing is awesome. Albeit way too much money. I'm not going to lie. These things are like $400. It's too much. I mean, maybe it's not too much. I don't know. It felt like too much to me when I bought it, but I really wanted something robust. So maybe I got just what I paid for. I don't know. What's going on? What's up, user friendly? Welcome back. Good to see you at the stream again. When the packs for the A4 are more experimental or melodic, Sonar Sounds is a good idea. You guys are talking about sound packs. Alexandra, how are you? Glossy girl, user friendly. Oh yeah. Everybody loves seeing user friendly up in here. Everybody loves the sounds you make. If you had the Mark II, you wouldn't need the Fader Fox. I think I still would, Circo. How dare you? How dare you? How dare you? Circo's playing a show with me next week, exactly a week from today, 7 p.m. here in Seattle. We're playing at the 4Bs. It's going to be a really good time. It's going to be really dope. No, I think like the Q performance on the Okay. The Q performance on the Rytm Mark II, yeah, it's pretty dope, okay? That's cool. And then you have the encoders for the performance macros, but it doesn't have what the Fader Fox, it doesn't have what this has. This thing. For one, look at how cool it is. Don't you just want it? It doesn't have the push button to make it go back to 0 immediately. Maybe it does. I don't think it does. And it doesn't have as many. I can make more. I can make more than the Rytm Mark II provides. But also, I don't have a Rytm Mark II, and I don't want one. I don't want one, and you're not going to convince me to get one until they make one in this form factor. Then I'll buy one. I really will. I'll sell this. If they make a new Rytm Mark II in this form factor, not even Mark III, just Mark II in this form factor, I will buy the Rytm again at that ridiculous $18,000 price tag that they have. Which is insane to me, how expensive Elektron has gotten. And I'll have my Mark II. Oh, are you playing with the Mark II? Very cool. The pads are ass, but you love the Mark I. I like the pads. Okay, so I've had this isn't the first Mark I that I've had. I've had a few Rytm Mark Is. And the first one I had, the pads were really bad. I got really lucky on this one. The pads feel really good. They're quite responsive. I mean, they're no MPC, but I'm not chopping stuff up on here. You know, I'm just pounding stuff in. I don't know. I like it. We got our dub techno still going. Let's keep it up. I guess we could save the kit. Hit one. I don't care what it's called. I don't care. I wonder if I have like any like weird voice samples. Like that it ships with the factory pack has transients in it. I thought I had some voice samples in here. Do you see what this piano pack has? That's kind of cool. So I want to put it on right here. Now. Little break for our ears. Let's go to another track here. I really do want to find like some sort of voice. I feel like that's gonna really be the thing. I just had really intense deja vu right now. Does that mean I'm like losing my mind or what? I mean, what is everybody's opinion on deja vu? Like, what is deja vu? Does it mean like it's like you're right where you're supposed to be or whatever? To me, it means like I had a misfire in my brain and maybe I cooked it from my early 20s. I had a very debaucherous early 20s, I'm not gonna lie. Probably did some real damage. Some real damage. Hits? Maybe? Damn it. I put 1,700 samples in here and not a single one is a voice. Nothing in factory, that's for sure. Oh wait, it might be an extra. Come on. Oh, the sauce is so weak. Incoming? No. One-shot collection? No. Oversampled? Ooh, what's in here? Some good sounds in here. Some flams? Wow, I like that. Let's see, what can we do with that? Even though we can't adjust the BPM of it, can we make it sound cool anyway? No, we can't. Pretty cool, but not gonna work for us. Spacious fills. What are we at? Oh, we can do 128. Oh, that could be really fun. Let's just change the BPM. Da, 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 da. let's go to our performance scenes. Let's play with that one for a second. Something now. Okay, let's try something. I like my Octatracks right here. I can't, like, I'm reaching, my brain's like, go do this. You know? What are you saying? You can work on the rhythm with retrigs and velocity ramps? Oh, right. Actually, my buddy Christoph showed me that trick. He's done some crazy stuff. Seeing it. Oh, very funny, Circo. Very funny, Eric. Yeah. I'm still like, I don't know if I'm a fan of this track all that much right here. This one in particular. Well, let's go ahead and just bring this up now. That's cool. Maybe we do that. Let that one go. We have something on here? Single cycle waveform, because I'm gonna make like an acid synth. Because I love the slides and retrigs, but I don't see why not have some 303 on here. Oh yeah. Whoops. There we go. Get a single cycle waveform. We're gonna get a single cycle waveform. Single cycle waveform. Wait, where are they? You gotta be freaking kidding me. Are they in some weird folder? Come on. Waveforms. That works. Okay, Sawtooth, C4. Sure. Whatever. Sample. Loop. Just play with these 5 steps for a second. End up making an acid sound. I got distracted. Okay, let's make this add it to the performance macro. We'll add it to this one. Track this, hold this, filter. Analog 4 is an analog drum machine that can also sample. Except for this one, cannot also sample, but it can play back samples. And you can reset 0 with a press on the EC-4. That's right, Rick Angle. That is exactly correct. It's just something you turn on. You can set it up to reset 0. If I push it when I'm at 0, it'll go to max value, for instance, which is actually kind of cool. What are you saying? You need to P-lock the sample pitch to slide. Oh yeah, you're right. That actually explains it. That is why it's not sliding. I wasn't even thinking of that. I'm so used to working on the Syntakt when I'm doing slides. Or the A4 with the synthesis. Okay, yeah, that actually makes total sense. So we need to play with tune instead of trig. That's kind of frustrating. Let's just start from scratch. That was a good one. That was a good one right there. Thomas, what's up? Wait a second. Global audio routing. Send to effects. Tempo of the Octatrack, not the same tempo as the rhythm. We don't even have a clap. We could have this one go retrig on the length of, I don't know, 3 trigs, I guess, with velocity up all the way, but then go to trig menu and bring velocity all the way down. Sounds pretty good. We gotta add that to there. Performance scenes, scene 1, track, air. I guess we should have done it. Let me tell you some of my favorite things about the analog rhythm really quick. This is like one of the best parts is what we're doing already. Like I'm getting lost in this, which is great because it just means I'm having a good time and that I'm enjoying the music. But one of the coolest things about it is this right here. Trig mute, accent, swing, and slide, and how quickly you have access to that. Like I can just add accents to a track just by doing that, or I can add swings or slides. And I love that. Or a trig mute. We could be in the trig mute track. Here's the trig mute track. that this performance scene right here, what it does to the kick. Oh yeah, I think I like that better. I'd rather just go. Super solid. Super solid. Okay, this is a sponsored stream, sponsored by DistroKid, as I mentioned before. Let me do my sponsorship commercial, okay? Nobody get mad at me. This is what we do here. It's how we survive. All right, what I want to show you is just some cool stuff that DistroKid offers, and this is an album that my Discord released with me, and I set up for them, and it's called Get In and Drive. You can find this on every streaming platform. Get In and Drive, released on DistroKid, and it's everywhere. And you look at how many artists we have on here, and everybody gets their own split, which is really cool. So using splits, all these different artists who've signed up for splits, well, if anybody pays for anything or buys any of the tracks, they'll get an even split of the sale. Everybody gets the same amount who participated, which is really cool, and DistroKid takes care of it, as opposed to Bandcamp, which is where, like, if I did this on Bandcamp, I would have to hand everybody money myself. This way, DistroKid takes care of it for me. But really what I want to show is these added features that you can do, and these are things that I do recommend you do, because I did them with my the few releases that I've done personally. I do these. You can do the discovery pack, adds this to a global database of catalog for, so basically so you get your music heard more, and gives you song recognition. You can get on the registration with the SoundScan, so you can be on the Billboard charts, all that kind of stuff. Beatport, unlimited uploads, that's cool. Enable Beatport for your DistroKid account. You'll be able to add this to release to play a future or past electronic genre release to Beatport. That's great. So DJs can get your music. Isn't that awesome? For $10 a month? It's so like unlimited uploads for $10 a month. So if you were making a lot of electronic music, if you're a techno house artist and you're just pumping out tracks because you've got your Electron workflow down, this is going to be really good for you. YouTube Content ID, I do this just because I'm on YouTube a lot, so this definitely makes sense for me. Get notified and paid if your music is ever used in a YouTube video. Every once in a while, somebody clips my stuff. I really wouldn't make anybody pay me any money, but I don't mind if anybody shares my music for free. But in case you want to get paid for that, you can. Store Maximizer will deliver this album to new online stores and streaming services as they add them, which is all the time. And they are constantly adding new streaming services, which is really cool. Only $8 for a year. I definitely have done this as well. I'll add to Tidal and Max MQA, encodes your audio using MQA, which I have no idea what that means. But I think it lets everybody know that it's been mastered, meaning that it's at audio file quality. That's what it says, at least. And then Leave a Legacy is another cool feature that DistroKid offers. $49 one-time fee. This is for your tracks. DistroKid will never delete your albums. So your music is permanent forever, which is pretty cool. So you'll continue to accrue royalties for future generations. So this is a really important one, I think. It's probably the coolest one and the most enticing, is the idea of your music being on the internet till the end of time. And if your music pops off one day and maybe you have some lineage that you've created, you know, give them some money. You'll help them get some money. DistroKid for the win. DistroKid is the best. Fader Fox is one of those things I don't actually need, but I want anyway because they just look so technology. Yeah, I agree with you, user friendly. This is kind of like their stuff reminds me of Elektron, even though it's not metal. The build, like it feels like just so strong. Like this, you can throw this around and beat it up. I've had another Fader Fox. I had a PC-12, which is just the pots. They're not rotary encoders. These are endless encoders, which is great and much better. You can actually do the thing with the Octatrack and the Rytm and the Analog 4 where you have MIDI coming out and MIDI going in here and MIDI coming out here and returning back, and then you can use the relative encoders, but you have to send CC61 from whatever box you're on all the time on your pattern. So somewhere hidden away, so it wouldn't work so well on here, but somewhere hidden away on the Octatrack, you could hide a CC61 message that's being sent, and that tells this to listen to incoming messages for relative messages. That way you can actually see the values of what I change on here, and what I change on here will be the same. They'll reflect the same value. That's pretty cool, and something that I tried to implement into the Octatrack, but I found it to be just too cumbersome. Like it was just too much of a pain in the butt, and like the Octatrack's already enough as it is. So, I don't know, just something to think about. Back to techno. Does a pretty good 303. Not as good as the Octatrack. The Octatrack does a better 303. This does a pretty good job. New scene. Go here. I want to make this do something like. That's kind of silly. We could have it go into that effects track, right? Oh dear. might be better to use Note for this scene, because the sample thing sounded a little crazy. Oh, I can't. I guess you can't do that. That's kind of cool. That's nutty. I mean, that scene is kind of wacky, don't get me wrong. Make like a minimal techno type scene that makes everything go really short. All the sounds become really short. Does the analog rhythm only have the tape style pitchy delay? Yeah, it doesn't have multiple delays to choose from, unfortunately. Evening. My synth buddy just talking about the EC-4 with the DistroKid to replace his MIDI Fighter Twister. The MIDI Fighter Twister is really nice, so they're both great. there's no reason to replace one with the other. The only reason why you would maybe switch to the EC4 is because you want the screen and because you want the physical I/O for the MIDI. Otherwise, the Fader Fox is a really nice build. I mean, the MIDI Fighter Twister is a really nice build. You're gonna be able to do the same stuff. LFO to reverb pre-delay is the secret sauce for really good reverb on the A4 too. Oh, nice, nice, very cool. The Fader Fox Micro Module UC4 looks cool. It does, yeah, yeah. That's a really nice controller. Yeah, he forgets what he does with the MIDI Fighter without the screen. That's fair. That is fair. I mean, I would too. Like, even here, I haven't named these scenes, but like, I know that I'm really only using this first one because it's just, that high pass plus delay scene is so good for just moving from part to part within like a house techno type track that it's just so easy for me to keep doing it over and over again. Okay. Well, really what I wanted to show off, like, let me talk about this one last time and just kind of summarize what we were doing on the stream here. We took the Fader Fox EC-4. You can do this with any MIDI controller. We took that Fader Fox EC-4. We mapped it to channel 15, which is the performance effects track on the analog rhythm by default. So these are all going to MIDI channel 15. We started on MIDI channel CC 35, 36, 37, skip 38, go to 39 for whatever reason. And then serial from then on. And then what that does is it makes it so we're able to turn on performance effects in a more gradual way, as opposed to pushing with our fingers, which, as we all know, is really difficult with the pads on the analog rhythm. So that's what this is doing for the analog rhythm, and it's a really cool workflow. As you can see, we had quite a bit of fun doing this. Makes the combo just a blast and really easy to get some new mileage out of your Mark I analog rhythm or Mark II if you haven't used it in a while. But you can also do some similar stuff with the Chic. The Chic MIDI controller can do 2 MIDI channels and 2 messages at the same time, and it has macros built into it. So you could use it with like your Digitact, well, Digatone can do it as well, because the Digatone has a velocity modifier. Well, so does the Syntact. So if you actually routed this to the Syntax velocity modifier, you could use these on the Digatone and the Syntact to control 4 different macro adjustments on the Syntact. Albeit you'd only get 4 of them, because you'd have 1 for velocity, 1 for aftertouch, 1 for mod wheel, and then 1 for bend, I think. And you could route them all to 4 different destinations on the Syntact or Digatone, and you can do the same concept. But then you could also do something similar in a more difficult way with the Chic MIDI controller, because it has macro controls as well if you download the beta firmware and use the beta update site. We like Chic. They did a really good job with their controller, making it very affordable. It is half the price of the Fader Fox EC-4. I do recommend it. It's a beautiful controller. Here. Look at it. It's lovely. It's beautiful. Look how many pots you got. It's super easy to program. Very easy to program. This one's wood. He does have a metal version of it. So you can do similar stuff here. You don't have the push encoders or anything, but you can build macros from scratch with this without needing an analog rhythm, because analog rhythm has the ability to make macros built into the device. This will make the macros via MIDI CC messages. So you just have to open the manual. It's a lot easier than you think. MIDI CC is not as frustrating and annoying as you think it's going to be once you get started. Just get it done and you'll be happy. Yeah. I do a lot of online teaching, as you saw with that video I released earlier this week about one of my online lessons. That's what my online lessons are like. Albeit they're a lot slower. That was like chop, 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 chop. Like, it doesn't go that fast. And the person I was working with happened to be already versed in Elektron, so I was able to talk to him on a level that was quite a bit different than I would talk to somebody who doesn't know how to use Elektron. So I was able to go a lot faster. Plus, I make copies of the videos and I give it to the student so that the student can rewatch it. It's full of tutorials and tips and tricks on all the Elektron boxes, as well as modular, or Bitwig or the Dirty Wave M8, which I've used quite a bit. I use pretty regularly and I know it pretty well. So anyway, the reason I'm mentioning that is because I'm going to stop the stream now because I have somebody I have to teach. So I'm going to log off, eat some food, and teach a student. And if you're interested in lessons or joining the Patreon, getting my performance templates, the techno performance template, it's still in beta. I know, I'm sorry. It's not that I don't know what to do it is that I don't know what to do. It's that I don't know what I want to do with the very last bit of it. So most of it's working already, but part of it, I'm like, do I want to use the filter for the crossfader? Do I want to use volume for the crossfader? What sort of effects do I want to add for the 10 that I removed? What 10 effects do I want to put in before I consider it a techno performance template 1.0? And so I'm just, that's where I'm at. It's kind of, it's an emotional space, to be honest, because when I finish something, it's like a big relief, you know, because I don't know, there's a lot of tension building with me about it and I need to get it done, but I also don't want to release something that I don't love. So yeah. Anyway, I will see you all next week for another episode of Elektron Talk. I believe this one was 45. I hope I'm right about that. I think so. Join the Patreon, patreon.com/EZBOT, EZBOT.live if you want to get lessons. Join the Discord. It's free. Links in the comments. I'll see y'all next week. Be well.